Hey guys, today we have a Volkswagen Passat in for a roof lining repair, very similar to the Volkswagen Jetta, and I'll show you how to drop down the headliner board. These ones, keep in mind, are quite difficult and they got a lot of time consuming parts to them, and you can get quite frustrated, especially with the when you drop down these grab handles, sun visors. There are metal clips usually behind that can fall out of their place, and you've got to try to line them back up when you fire in those screws again, so that can get time consuming. Also, like right at the back here, there's a section at the back. When you remove that plastic piece just by plying it off, you unbolt a few screws that hold this headliner board up, but there's a black plastic backing that is glued to the board, and that stays on the board when you remove this headliner board out the car to recover it. However, having that reinforced back section makes this board very hard to flex out the front passenger door to get it out, and that's pretty much the universal way of removing the headliner boards, is taking it out through the front passenger door. Alright, I'll take you through where we start the job. So we'll usually start by taking off the grab handles. There's a Torx head screw head there, so I think it's a T20 that will undo those, and once they come undone you can drop the handle down. So do that for the rest of the handles, and then I'll usually come across and before I start I'll be checking the lights to make sure they all work. That way you can tell if you've done something wrong. So once I've removed the grab handles, I'll take off the sun visors. So sun visor clip just comes off. This one's actually quite loose, not sure why. You just get in there with like a flathead or an upholstery skewer to remove that little flap, plastic flap that would basically allow you to get access to the screw, and then that will just pop off. Same with that, remove that flap there. If you've got the lights set up, there'll be a wire connected there, so you just unplug that. So that will come down, and while you're doing these, taking these plastics off, just make sure you don't lose the little metal brackets that sit up into the actual roof of the car, because you got to line them back up when you fire the screws back in. That's what makes these jobs quite time consuming and frustrating. So yeah, keep that in mind, because if you drop one of those inside the roof of the car, it might fall down into the chamber in between the bodywork of the car, and you might not be able to get it out again. So then I'll come across to the sunglasses holder, and that one there, I would start by taking the shelf out first. You can pry it open here, that's where it's held in by, and then that shelf will come out. Come to the front section, just take off this fascia here, that fascia there, and you'll have access to a couple of screws. And once those are all done, then you'll have access to another couple of screws. You take them out, unplug the sunglasses holder, and with the front A pillars, B pillars and C pillars, I usually leave them intact where they are, and I can flex the headliner board away from them, because the headliner board only goes in about an inch underneath, or not even that, underneath these pillars, so you can actually flex it away safely without taking these pillars off. However, the rear C pillars, I normally do take the screws out the back there just to flex it open a bit, because you need access for that rear section to come away from it. So that's it. Once the headliner board's dropped down, go around safely and unplug those wires. They're usually held in by like a tape wire, which can break very easy. And yeah, once that's done, we'll slowly flex it out the front passenger door here. What makes that difficult is that rear section. It's got a reinforced plastic stuck to the rear of the board, and it prevents this headliner from being flexed and slightly bent to get out the roof lining, out the front passenger door there. So, and what makes these headliner boards really hard to get out is that rear section that's reinforced with the plastic. Stops this headliner board being flexed as much as most other cars. So yeah, keep that in mind. And then I'll lay the blanket down, so when the headliner board's coming out, it doesn't scrape along any of the interior. And yeah, once it's out, if you're looking for steps to recover one of these headliners, pretty much the steps that you can download, you can follow and apply to most cars. So in the link in the description below, there'll be an ebook there titled Headlining Secrets, and it will take you through all the steps to take the common problems to watch out for, saving you money and time. And yeah, it will just show you the professional way of how to repair and recover a sagging headlining with brand new material, because that's pretty much the only professional way. Like say if you were to add a bit of glue here, see how it's already stretched and you will never get it back to the original position, because I think by factory these things are laid down by machines, not a man-made thing, so they're under a lot of tension already, so you can't get that back to its original position. Plus if you were to add glue to these old headliners, because there's no foam backing on the material no more and it's all rotted and decayed away, turned orange, you'll just get a glue stain come up. So the only method, if you want to really use the old material, is sometimes just an office stapler. You can staple it back into place. So we're going to dive in now and take this headliner board out. So I'll put the camera down and hopefully we get some good angle shots for you guys to get some takeaway. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, that really helps us out and is much appreciated. And also yeah, if you got any takeaways from the video, just comment below, or something you might want to see in the days and weeks ahead, and we'll try to cover that in the future videos. Yeah, alright, let's go. Alright guys, I'll show you where we're up to right now. So we've taken down pretty much the majority of the left side, the plastics, the grab handles and the sun visors and the sunglasses holder. So I'll show you how we're taking it away from these pillars. So you'll see how much it goes underneath this pillar. It's not much, so you can actually flex it away from the pillar, as you can see there. So instead of taking this whole B pillar off, you can then just be taking the headliner board away from the pillar itself without damaging the board, of course. And that rear section usually will flex away once I get this one out. So the front A pillars are a bit harder to do. You can I have to put the camera down for that one, but it only goes under, yeah, just that much there, so it's not much. Pretty much just flexing it up this way and then pulling it away from the pillar. So I'll show you how we do that. And the board now is almost ready to be dropped down, like that, and we can pull it away from the rear section now once all those screws have come out. So at the back section that holds the plastic piece in, so we'll get out and now see there where that tape wire is held up. I'll go around and show you. You got the tape wire here, it can break real easy. But be careful of that situation there, because you can break these tape wires quite easy. That there you don't want happening. So lucky it didn't break, but yeah, they can break quite easily, and then you have to try to join those two wires back together again, which get quite difficult. We can go around and unplug. We can wait till that's out. So yeah, with the wiring harness unplugged from the front top here in the centre, you can just leave the wiring harness on the board at all times, and just be careful when moving it around that you don't get it caught and break it. So bringing this whole headlining forward now, we'll take it away from the rear section, like that. And there's that reinforced bracket that I was telling you guys about. The yeah, solid plastic just glued to the board, and that will prevent the board from flexing too much to come out the car. So you can still get it out the car through the front passenger door, but that's what makes it a bit more difficult. And that whole thing basically bolted up to the rear section, of course. The rear C pillars I kind of only just undone a tiny bit to just flex them away. However, you may have to undo them completely when you're putting it back in. There might not be enough room to slide this headliner back in, but see how you go. And that's it down. So we'll take it out the car now. So the whole time I kept this blanket down to protect the dashboard, the center console, so when I'm sliding it out, the headline is not scraping along any plastics. And I flexed it a lot to get it out, to keep it away from these sills and these pillars and plastics, so it doesn't scrape along, making sure it doesn't hit the dashboard there, making sure the rear end of the headline is not touching the back door, so maybe keep that open as you're taking it out. When you go to put it back in, I actually overlap the headliner board completely with material around the edges, so it actually pads the edges. So when you go to reinstall it back in, you don't need to flex it as much. So that's a bonus. But yeah, this is why you can't reuse the material. It's all ready to sag, it's shrunk, and that's it. So there's no damage at all to this board getting it out. If there is, you can just repair any breakages if they're on the ends with some cloth tape, a bit of glue, or if you want to go to the extent of refiberglassing or anything like that, you can always repair it. Breakages in the middle get more hard to repair, but that hardly ever will happen. So now we're just going to recover this in brand new material, take off this old foam, reapply brand new material, and then we can reinstall it back in the car. If you're looking for the steps to take to recover a car headliner professionally, we have that as one of our programs over at Reece's AutoHeadlinerRepairs.com. So click the link below in the description. There will be a downloadable ebook there titled Headlining Secrets. It will take you through all the steps to take to professionally recover a car headliner. It will show you the common problems to watch out for, which saves you money and time. So yeah, it's one of the most detailed steps that I've seen on the internet around. So yeah, get your hands on that if you're definitely doing the recovery yourself. Alright, so we're going to move into the recovering of this headliner in brand new material now. Basically scraping off this old foam and then reapplying brand new material. So yeah, if you would like to follow along on the steps that we've laid out for you, just grab that downloadable ebook. Otherwise, we'll see you here on the next video. Leave a comment, guys, on your biggest takeaway from this video, or what you might want to see in the days and weeks ahead, and we'll try to cover it on future videos. Otherwise, yeah, give it a thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, that really helps us out, and we'll see you here on the next video. Cheers.